Hi, we just finished meeting for pronunciation practice on Monday, September 13th. And we had just the right amount of words to finish exactly on time. So that was great. And vocabulary. You can say ya or you. Either way, you shouldn't really notice because it's going to be shorter. Vocabulary. Vocabulary. So Larry does sound like Larry, somebody's name. Vocabulary. Absolutely. Don't release the T, absolutely. Hold the T because the T and the L are in the same position. So you'll just hold it and then release the L. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fascism. This last part, ism, can sound like zum or zim. Again, you won't notice because it's not stressed, so it'll be really short. Fascism. Neither here nor there. Since this is not a single word, I didn't put something over here. Neither here nor there. Orchestrate. Orchestrate. One, two, three. Orchestrate. Irritable. Irritable. The T changes to a D. Irritable. It means cranky. I would use cranky instead as a shorter word. Cynthia. The CYN sounds like SIN. Cynthia. And this ROW usually sounds like row in a person's name, Rowley. But the ROW could also sound like row in a boat, a row in a spreadsheet, a row of pews in church. Um, and the same ROW can be pronounced as row, which means an argument. But in this case, in a person's name, you should guess that it's an ow, row, Rowley. Mesenteric. Mesen, watch my mesenteric, which we looked up and I won't try to explain. Adenitis. Adenitis. Or even shorter, adenitis. Adenitis. Inflammation. That one's more general. Inflammation of a gland. Profanity. Profanity, which means swearing. Atheistic. Atheistic. Instead of releasing the K as atheistic, hold the K in the back. Atheistic. Abolish. This O sounds like ba. Abolish. And now you have options for the first part and options for the second part. ANTI can be pronounced, I should stress this, anti or anti. Anti or anti. And the second part can be pronounced apartheid. And to stop and think, apartheid or apartheid. So you can say an- anti-apartheid, anti-apartheid, or anti-apartheid, anti-apartheid. I think I hear it most common is anti-apartheid. So maybe that's what most Americans say, anti-apartheid. Courage, courage. Earth. These have the same sound. So the sound is really just the noise of the R. So curl your tongue back so that it's not too far back, like but almost touching behind the top teeth, but not touching. So that's the when you have making sound in your throat. That's all it is. That's why it can be spelled so many different ways, but you're really just making the R noise. Courage, earth. And this, I looked up and found out there was more pronunciations than I knew of. I always use ah, and you can say it with the L or without the L. Almond, or with the L, almond. But the dictionary had almond and almond. So those are possible. I just have never heard them myself. Compassionately, compassionately. Li. This is another situation of the T before the L. Hold your tongue in the T position and not release it like compassionately. That makes it too choppy. You're just going to hold it compassionately and release it for the L. And we don't say the L in salmon. Salmon. Automatically. Automatically. Auditorium. Auditorium. And because, excuse me, because we had done rowly, which the ROW word can sound like row or row, it came up about the word raw, and it's spelled RAW, and the vowel is ah, like awesome, raw. And this word can be a noun or a verb. Noun, a good cause. I'm going to raise money for a good cause, which is a good effort or reason. And it can also be a verb. Um, this causes problems. Cause, but they sound the same. Ah, cause, which is different than the word because. The BE changes to buh because it's not stressed. And that gets really short, buh, buh. And then the word that looks like it's spelled the same is pronounced with an instead. Cause. This is cause, cause. Caw, open your jaw more, keep your tongue flat. Caw. And this one, cuz. The jaw is higher and the tongue is low in the middle. Because. And you'll also hear people leave off the buh and just say cuz. Awkward. You don't have to release the K awkward. Hold your tongue in the K position. Awkward. Awkward. And so this is spelled ARD, but it sounds the same as word spelled with an O. So it's ERD. If you have trouble remembering it, think of it as were, the past tense. We were going there with a D. Word. WrestleMania. No T. WrestleMania. Uncomfortable. Comf is a weird combination. We don't have, I don't know if it's anywhere else in English, but you make the M and then release enough air to have your top teeth on your bottom lip. Comf, comf, and then make the T. Comfortable, uncomfortable. Clenched. I watched my accent. Clenched. I would say clenched. Clenched. That means held tightly. Folded. Folded. Humph. This is, well, it's an MF combination. Like I said, doesn't happen anywhere. Humph is the noise that people make. So this is a word describing the noise. Like the word sigh describes the noise. Humph describes the sound of like, well, when people, you're usually annoyed or kind of angry. It's similar to huff, which means somebody's angry, and if, like the expression "don't walk away in a huff" when somebody is maybe losing an argument and they're like, huh, and they walk away. That's a huff. Inexplicably, inexplicably, splick. That's a weird combination too. Inexplicably, unbearable, unbearable. Leader, leader. Quoted. Make sure your lips are rounded from the beginning. So you start in that position. Quo, quo, and they get sorry, they get small. Quo, quoted. Comforter, comforter. So I guess we do say the MF there too. Comfort, comforter. The T changes to a D, and this is the top thing you put on the bed, and it's puffy. Um, if it's not puffy, it could just be called a bedspread, the top thing that looks pretty on top of the bed, not the blankets, but the pretty looking thing on top. And if it's puffy, it's a comforter. Or it can also be called duvet. Duvet. That's it. So thank you very much if you were here tonight. And if not, I hope you can join us next Monday or tomorrow because we do pronunciation on Monday night and Tuesday afternoon Eastern Time. That's it. Have a good evening.